Welcome back to the Red Rising Recap series, where each video gives you a quick recap of a different book in the Red Rising Saga by Pierce Brown in under 10 minutes. This episode is all about Iron Gold, the first book in the second set of books in the series. This video will contain spoilers through Iron Gold, including the original trilogy. It has been 10 years since the end of Morningstar, and the Republic, the new government and structure that replaced the Society, has been at war with the Society remnant that whole time. Darrow is the leader of the Republic's military, and Mustang is the sovereign. They're married now. Both roles, however, answer to the Senate, which includes equal representation of all colors. Severo and Victra are also married and have 3 daughters, and Victra is pregnant again at the start of the book. Mustang and Darrow have Pax and no other children. We have 3 new POV characters in addition to Darrow in this book. The first new character is Lyria, a red gamma from Lagalos who lives in one of the many assimilation camps where low reds were brought after they were freed from the mine, though many of them, including Lyria, don't really see it that way. At the start of the book, her entire family, except for her blind nephew Liam, are killed by the Red Hand, a terrorist organization we find out later is led by our former favorite badass bitch turned just regular bitch Harmony. Lyria saves Cavax Telemanis when he comes to protect the camp from the Red Hand, and as a reward he gives her a job in his household as the handler for Sophocles the fox, and takes her and Liam off of Mars to Luna, which is still the seat of government. Next, we have Ephraim, a gray former son of Ares and current master thief, aka freelancer. He was engaged to Trig, Holiday's brother, who was killed by Aja when they rescued Darrow at the beginning of Morningstar. He meets the Duke of Hands, one of the leaders of the Syndicate, a crime organization run by a queen whose identity we don't know at this point. The Duke makes Ephraim a job offer he can't refuse for himself and his crew, which includes Volga and Obsidian. The last of the new POVs is Lysander, a gold and the grandson of the former sovereign Octavia. As an aside, if you are a Lysander apologist, you are probably not going to like my recaps from here on out. Lysander has spent the last decade cruising around no man's land in space with Cassius playing the reluctant hero. Lysander is reluctant, not Cassius. Cassius is a king. They respond to a distress signal where Ascamani, Obsidian space pirates, have taken a ship and imprisoned the crew and passengers, including a single gold woman. Lysander, being the absolute piece of shit that he is, leaves all the low-color prisoners in their cages to rescue the gold woman, who then steals his razor. He discovers that she's a peerless scarred in disguise, but lies to Cassius about it. They are then captured by the Ra family on Io, and he discovers that the girl is Seraphina Al-Ra, and she was out there to get information that would start a war between the Rim and the Republic. When Iron Gold begins, Darrow is in trouble with the Senate because he ordered an Iron Rain to take Mercury and finish the battle there when they told him to maintain the siege instead. He is obsessed with finishing the war with the Society remnant, but is being very pig-headed about it. Dancer, former second-in-command of the Sons of Ares, is the leader of the Vox Populi, the Red Bloc in opposition to Mustang in the Senate. He calls for Darrow to be stripped of his position and placed under house arrest for disobeying the Senate. Darrow has Severo call the Howlers, and they fuck off to kill the Ash Lord and finish the war because he's absolutely convinced that if he takes the Ash Lord out, there's no one in the Society remnant who can lead them. In the process of escaping, Darrow accidentally kills Wolfgar, an Obsidian warden, in front of his son Pax, and basically solidifies the Obsidian bloc voting against Mustang in the Senate moving forward. Lyria meets Philippe, who we know to be Ephraim in disguise. He befriends her and gives her a necklace that turns out to be an EMP. She's wearing it on a shuttle with Victor's daughter Electra and Pax when it goes off, crashing the shuttle and allowing Ephraim to kidnap the children. He's about to kill Lyria, but decides to take her with him instead. He brings the kids to the Duke of Hands, and while he's delivering them, Lyria escapes. She runs to the Citadel and turns herself in. She meets Mustang and Holiday and gives them the gun that she took out of the back of Ephraim's car. Holiday recognizes it and realizes that Philippe is in fact Ephraim, and then they use Volga and Lyria to convince Ephraim to get the kids back from the Duke of Hands. Ephraim seduces the Duke and kicks his ass and then rescues the kids, stealing the Duke's ship in the process. The ship is remote crashed, and we end the book not knowing the fate of Ephraim or the children. Lyria is taking a shower, fully prepared to go to jail for her actions when she's tranquilized by a woman who says, "The Barcas send their regards." Lysander's storyline involves a lot of bullshit about how gold was meant to be shepherds, and the society was broken not because it's a racist caste system, but because gold lost their way. He thinks the Rim does a better job, and he wants to bring society back together to take down the Republic and usher in a new golden era. This all happens against the backdrop of Cassius refusing to give up the code to their lockbox, which has Lysander's razor in it, which, it turns out, Seraphina hid the data cube with the evidence to start a war. Cassius fights several Raw family members one by one until Seraphina finally joins the fray, and Lysander, unable to stomach the idea of them fighting, jumps up and tells them who he is and gives them the code. The data cube contains footage from one of the obsidian helmets from the Battle of Ilium, where Roke died 10 years previously, showing Darrow blowing up the dockyards of Ganymede and then lying to Romulus about it. Dido Elra accuses her husband Romulus of not investigating this, and there's a trial where he admits to also lying that he knew or suspected that it was Darrow, and he's sentenced to die. Before he's executed, we get one of the best lines of the whole series. Romulus' son Diomedes sends a pink ore to tell Lysander that Cassius died of his injuries from the duels, and that some of the Raw cousins stole his body and left it out in the waste to rot. Lysander tells Dido that he wants to join her war against Darrow and offers an alliance with the Society if she can get him back to the core. Darrow and the Howlers break Apollonius Ovalii Wrath, Tactus's older, crazier brother, out of Deepgrave, an underwater prison on Earth. They use him to get the Valii Wrath forces to support their attack on the Ash Lord's fortress. After a wee battle, where Apollonius saves Darrow's life, they get into the fortress, where they find the Ash Lord has been poisoned by, surprise, Apollonius, and has been slowly dying this whole time. The Ash Lord tells Darrow and Severo that their kids were kidnapped, and that his daughter Atalantia is the mastermind behind the continued war, and she's about to smash the blockade around Mercury and take it back. Severo lights the Ash Lord's bitch ass on fire, yells at Darrow for being a bad father, and then leaves with Severo Howlers to go back and rescue their kid. Darrow takes the rest of their small force and heads back to fight Atalantia on Mercury again. And that's pretty much it. Come back next week for Dark Age. Don't forget to follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Sharkbait's Bookshelf, and subscribe to High Key Obsessed Podcast on YouTube to continue the series.